بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله على سيدنا ونبينا أبي القاسم المصطفى محمد وآله الطيبين الطاهرين لا سيما بقية الله في الأرضين اللهم أخرجني من ظلمات الوهم وأكرمني بنور الفهم اللهم افتح علينا أبواب رحمتك وانشر علينا خزائن علومك برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. Alhamdulillah, we have tawfiq to continue our study of Islamic plan for life. In Unit 6, we said we see how Islam brings justice, order, and welfare to the society, because Unit 6 is about society. Unit 5 was about family. We talked about family, marriage, etc. So we already talked about Islamic judiciary system, very briefly, of course. We talked about Islamic governance, because judiciary system secures justice, or you can say safeguards justice, because other things also help with justice. Governance helps with order. Now we want to see how Islam brings welfare and along with justice to the society. This is why we study Islamic economy. Very briefly. Alhamdulillah, there are books on Islamic economy, but this is just a part of one unit. What we mean by economy is a kind of social science, so it's social science, which studies production, distribution, consumption of goods and services. So we want to see how goods and services can and should be produced, consumed, shared, and in the long term, how we can make sure that the society is going away from poverty. As we know, Islam wants for us happiness or sa'ada, felicity of dunya and akhirah. The last unit of Islamic belief system was about felicity. Islam is not only saying your sa'ada is akhirah, in dunya, whatever happens is not important. You have no responsibility, just try to finish it. Like, for example, you are in prison, you have to, finish your term in prison and then you are released. For us, actually, ad-dunya mazra'atul akhirah. Whatever we are going to see in akhirah is made and is saved in dunya. And we have to make sure that the quality of our life in dunya is good and in akhirah is also good. Rabbana atina fid dunya hasana wa fil akhirati hasana. Not just hasana in dunya or hasana in akhirah. Imam Sadiq alayhi salam said, he's not one of us who abandons dunya for akhirah or abandons akhirah for dunya. Or we have that famous hadith, كن لدنياك كأنك تعيش أبدا وكن لآخرتك كأنك تموت غدا. One interpretation of this hadith is that when it comes to dunya, this is one interpretation. When it comes to dunya, live as if you are going to be here forever. So for example, when it comes to your health, treat your body as this body is going to serve you forever. Don't say, it's just 2-3 years, and I don't bother about my health. Or for example, you are repairing your home or building a house, whatever. Do it as good as you can, because in this way you improve. But if you say it's temporary, then you don't pay attention. But when it comes to akhirah, also, kun لآخرتك كأنك تموت غدا. Maybe you are dying tomorrow. So don't delay. If you have anything to fix before you die, do it quickly. Okay? So, Muslims are expected to be very much thinking and conscious of akhirah, of their journey towards Allah, but at the same time, and actually for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they should be very efficient in organizing worldly affairs. So we are expected to be pioneers in every science, every technology that helps humanity. Yeah? Not those types of technology that can be just a way of making money or etc., but anything which is ethical, anything that really helps humanity. And this is why you see a society which suffered from ignorance before Islam. There was no school, no university, no library, no literacy. Soon, these people, after embraced Islam, they become pioneers of the world, even in sciences which were not religious, in secular sciences, in chemistry, in optometry, in many sciences. Although they were deprived of leadership of prophet and imams, still Islam had so much of impact that soon they became pioneers. And in medieval ages, West very much benefited from works of Muslims. Even their knowledge of the Greek, Greek philosophers and thinkers was through Arabic translation. Later they were able to use the Greek directly. So Muslims realized that you can be a believer who is trying to secure his happiness in the hereafter, go to heaven, but at the same time, when it comes to building houses, roads, bridges, hospitals, schools, you have to be doing your best. Try to bring whatever talents Allah has given you to excel in these things. So we don't accept the concept that we should abandon dunya or we should have a miserable life if we want to have good life in the hereafter. Our attitude towards economy or our economical system, if we want to understand it properly, we should know its principles, we should know its aims, its methods, and framework. So we have to discuss all these things. Here we mention few points that give you, inshallah, some idea. When it comes to the aims, there are different schools in the world about economy. Some people are very much market centered. For them, the main thing is to organize market. For some people is work and labor. For some people is more farming and agriculture. For some people is more exporting. For some people is private properties. For some people is canceling private ownership, like socialists, and nationalizing. For communists is absolutely abandoning ownership by individuals, and everything belongs to everyone. So there are different views. But what about us? What about Islam? We mentioned few aims of Islamic economy. One, to have welfare, to have adequate resources for life, but not becoming attached, not being owned. You own, but you should not be owned. Yeah, there's a hadith which says, لَيْسَ الزُّهْدُ أَلَّا تَمْلِكَ شَيْئًا. Zuhd is not to own. بَلْ أَلَّا يَمْلِكَكَ شَيْءٌ. Zuhd means not to be owned. You can have house and be zahid. You can have car and be zahid. But the condition is that your house should not own you. Your heart must be free. Your car must not own you. Yeah? So, we should have enough adequate kifaf of worldly blessings, but not to be attached to it. What about becoming rich? If I have more than what I need, it's not a problem, but you have to make sure that you earn it from acceptable ways, from halal in general, and spend also in the way which is reasonable. So in Islam, we are not against rich people or against making money. Actually, it's very good. If you can generate wealth, is okay. But not to be attached to it. Not to use unethical, immoral, or illegal, haram ways for making money. And then when you earn money, you have again to spend it in a responsible way. So these are our observations. Otherwise, it's no problem if someone has lots of money. There are several things that you have to consider when you are rich or you have some, money or property, etc. Number one, you must know that this is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Don't be like Qarun. When they told him, ابتغ فيما آتاك الله الدار الآخرة. Seek in what Allah has given you the hereafter. Qarun said, إنما أوتيته على علم من عندي. I had knowledge, and because of that I have this money. Allah has not given me this money. I was very clever. I worked, day and night. I have this money. Some people, think that their work or their cleverness, etc., has made them rich. But the ultimate supplier and provider is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So we should know that this belongs to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and be grateful. Number two, If you have money, if you are rich, if you have lots of capital, Islam says you must use it in a productive way. Not just, put it in a box or, in an account and not use it and not generate work and job and, economical activities with this. Yeah? So to accumulate money and just save it is not good. It should be used in a productive way. Ayatul Kanz. الذين يكنزون الذهب والفضة ثم لا ينفقونها في سبيل الله. Those who just make treasures of silver and gold and don't use it in the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah warns them of punishment. So it's very good if you can create job, if you can create opportunities for other people to work, and also you can add to your money or keep your money, but not just waste it by, just keep it without any activity. Number 3, every person should know that poor and needy people have some rights in their property. في أموالهم حق معلوم للسائل والمحروم. Allah praises mu'mineen that there is a fixed amount in their property, in their money, for the needy people. So I should know that Allah has given me, but not only for me, also to give to needy people. Number 4, to pay your khums, your zakat, haqqullah. This is also important. Number 5, also to spend on your family. Let them have comfortable, not luxurious life, but comfortable life. It's very important that if you have money, don't put your family under pressure when it comes to accommodation or food, etc. To give them some, we call, tawsa'a, means, some comfort. Pardon? Yes. Number 6, not to do israf, not to use in excess. Number 7, not to have luxurious life, because this then would lead to wastage, and also this would most likely make you forget that you are here for a short period of time, and also it would encourage other people or create competition. Yeah, if I can afford and make a luxurious life, then my relatives, my friends, my neighbors also want to make the same thing. Number 8, not to be attached to dunya. Number 9, not to let this lead to a kind of pride and arrogance and say, I am better than other people, or say to people, I am better than you because I have, this. This is very bad. Also, people should know that at the same time that we respect everyone, unless there are exceptions, but normally speaking, we respect everyone. But we should not have additional respect for people just because they are rich. Hadith says, Man tawadha'a ghaniyan li ghina faqad dhahaba thulutha din. If you show humility in front of a rich person just because he's rich, then 2/3 of your faith is damaged. I can be humble before someone because he's my teacher, or he has knowledge, or he's an old person, Yeah, is an old person, or is a person who serves the community. But someone is exactly like another person, age-wise, or any rights that they have over me, anything is the same. But just this person has a more expensive, for example, house or more expensive car. I show more respect to him. This is not acceptable. The second aim is establishing justice and removing discrimination. Unfortunately, in some economical models, they say we have to produce wealth, generate wealth, but they don't bother about distribution. Therefore, you see, the society, the state becomes richer, but poor people become more poor. Yeah? So they say, overall, we made this much money. Every year we make this much, for example, progress. But how is it distributed? If rich people become more rich and poor people become more poor, this is not acceptable. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, إِنَّ اللَّهَ يَأْمُرُ بِالْعَدْلِ وَالْإِحْسَانِ. Justice has to be observed and kindness in every aspect, including economy. And Islamic economy is not based on law it's only, or on Sharia only, or on obligations only. Great part of Islamic economy is achieved through Akhlaq and voluntary work of people. If people are void of kindness and love and generosity, economy cannot work. You cannot by police only and penalties and prison implement Islamic economy. Islamic economy is using people's voluntary engagement and offering very much. Even if there is no police, we cannot, for example, sell less than what we should. For example, I have to give 1 kilogram, give 950 grams. Yeah? Or I have to work 8 hours, I work 7 hours and half an hour. I should watch myself. There is no problem, and actually this is inevitable and can also sometimes be useful if you have different talents, different capabilities, different backgrounds. Some people are making more money, some people less. It's not a problem as long as there is no discrimination. Yeah, because sometimes some people are deprived of their rights and then other people become rich. This is not good. But if everyone has equal opportunity and some people then know how to make more money, that's not an issue. So we don't want to say all people should live at the same level. Every person should receive fixed amount of income. This is not Islamic. We should allow for people to use their creativity. Someone is working harder. Anyways, they have more talents. As long as other people also have access, and law is not giving favoritism, is not like that, it's okay. Of course, we said that rich people, what should they do? Education should be available for all. Good jobs, some basic needs, housing, shelter, medicine, these should be available. At least we should not have any problem in providing people with the basic needs. So absolute poverty should not be there, but comparative or relative poverty might be there. Imam Sadiq alayhi salam said that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves to see the signs of his blessing that he has given to his servants over them. So if Allah has given me money, it's good to use it. If Allah has given me ability to have good dress, I should use it, not say I shouldn't use it. Not luxurious, not too much, but there is no problem in people using in a responsible way what they can afford to have. So when Imam Sadiq said Allah loves to see this effect or the sign of his blessings on his servants, he was asked how. He said, for example, have tidy clothes, use perfume, make your home and outside your home clean. Before Maghrib, turn on the light. These are the things that some people may think, we can live without these things, but we should have some good standard of life, and this is not bad. Another thing is, in Islamic economy, it's very important that everyone works. Everyone is productive. Not that they become burden on the society or burden on their family or friends or neighbors. Sometimes when Rasulullah was introduced to a young person, and people were praising him, but when Rasulullah was aware that he has no job, he was saying, Sakata min aini. Means he lost his position in my eyes. How can a young person just sit at home and do nothing? You have to work. And this is ibadah. Great portion of ibadah is making halal income. Even in some lectures I have explained that even if someone says to you, I give you whatever you need, for example, every month 2,000 pounds, I give you 2,000 pounds, just sit at home. Say, no, you are my enemy or you're my friend. If you are my enemy, okay, but as a friend, how you want me to sit at home and do nothing? I have to work. Even if I can make the same money that people are giving me as free or benefit, I should work. Work is very important. Maybe your father can give you, but say, thank you very much. Alhamdulillah, I am healthy, I can work. And if I need, I take from you. Even if he offers, say, no, let me work. So, to work, to be productive, one of the reasons why riba usually is prohibited, one reason is this. Because people who do usually may not do anything. Just they have money and they don't work and they don't take risk. And just they want to make money. Islam says you have to be productive. Use this money by creating job, but something that may have also risk. Another aim of Islamic economy is that we try to be economically independent as a family, as a community, as a nation, as a state. everyone should try to become independent so that they are not dependent on others. Muslim nation, Muslim countries also should try to help each other, have cooperation, collaboration, so that if a Muslim country has need, other Muslim countries support them. It's a shame for us if Muslims need non-Muslims to help them. Yeah, it's a shame. It's not bad for them to help, but it's bad for us that we have the best of resources in the world and still some Muslim countries are not able to meet their needs. Just even not all Muslim countries, just 3-4 Muslim countries, they have so much that they can feed all poor people of the world, Muslims and non-Muslims. So economical independence is very important. Another aim is development, farming, industry, trades, and then having a fair taxation system. So the government should receive a fair amount of taxation from people to look after the common needs of the society. Government should not by itself become a very rich, entity which is, demanding from people always money. Government is at the service of people. al-maal is for people. It's just servant of the people. It has to be fair taxation and only for the good of the people. Finally, as we said, we should try to combat poverty through some economical plans for creating job opportunities, but also in the end of the day, there are people that they cannot work. Sometimes there are people who are very old. Sometimes there are people who are ill. Yeah, we should have welfare system so that even people who are not able to work, they can work. There's a beautiful story here in the book, which is famous. The story is about Imam Musa Sadr in the city of Thayr in Lebanon. He saw that there are many beggars on the street. And it was very, sad thing that there are so many beggars on the streets. So he asked these beggars to be collected, and they made a survey. They found these beggars are 4 groups. Some of them were very rich. So he said, you cannot, beg because you have enough. Some were poor, but they had family members who were rich and could look after them. So they said to the family, you should look after these people. Some people were poor, but they could work. He gave them jobs. The 4th group of people who were very, weak and they could not make any job. So for them, he allocated monthly payments. And then said to the people, no one should give any money to the beggars, and they put charity boxes. So that we have a system here in this city. No needy person remains without help, and no one can misuse this. So there always seem to be the case till inshallah Imam al-Zaman comes, that he would eradicate all kind of poverty. But in our time, it always happens that some people, not because they are lazy, not because they don't want to work, some people cannot. They have some problems. We need to support them. But we have to have an efficient system that would meet all their needs and would not let any person to take advantage. Okay, this is about the last part of Unit 6. Inshallah, bi'iznillah, in the next session we start the last unit, which is about Islamic culture and civilization. We will discuss in this unit different things, including Islamic calendar and some important occasions in the calendar. These things are, inshallah, useful for you, for yourself, but also many of you might be teachers, or you are parents, or anyway, maybe you know these things. It's a reminder, but also it's a good way of having organized information for you to teach to others. So when we talk about Islamic calendar, for example, maybe it's not very new for you, but to know how to present, inshallah, would be useful. So inshallah, maybe in 2 more sessions we can finish, inshallah, the book. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin.